It's better. Okay, so hello Molly, hello Jory, hello Fishy, hello Robinson, and anybody else who happens to be in chat and not saying anything, which you are very welcome to do. So yeah, this is Beyond the Steel Sky, the sequel to one of my absolute all-time, no arguments, favourite point and clicks, Beneath the Steel Sky, which featured you kidnapped by the evil totalitarian forces of Union City and basically messing it up in your attempt to get the hell out of Dodge. Now, that was a 2D point and click. This is a 3D still adventure game, and still seems to have the point and click aesthetic, but obviously first person. Don't understand it exactly. Hello Chrono. Yeah, I had such a good time. I did not want to give up the demo when I was a DGX and I played it. I got to the end of the demo and it was, no, need more game. Where game gone? So, let's have a quick poke at the options. I wanted to give people a proper first look. So, cinematic subtitles are on, narration subtitles are on by default, thank you very much. We'll put up with the hints, that's fine. I don't know whether we need the camera inverted, we'll find out. To be honest, the music seems okay at the moment, so let's leave that as is. Wants to default to borderless window. Fair enough. Frame rate limit 60. Okay. Let's drop that down to 30 because I'm only streaming at 30. VSync on. I'm just looking at the defaults. Oh my god. Yes, most of it is on there, Fishy. I did manage to miss a session somewhere in the middle because I had a moment and forgot to upload it. So I highlight it. You don't put up... No, we do not put up with hint. We do absolutely glory in you lot. Wow, okay. So, those are your default text language choices. That is not a bad setup, is it? And yes, English American, English British. Revolution Games are a British company. And the guy behind this, it is, isn't it? It's a lot of localization. The guy behind the Steel Sky stuff, also responsible for Broken Sword. So that tells you what kind of pedigree we're talking here. Challenge mode, pick a random language to play and how many channel points would that take? That would take a load of channel points, Fish. Although I might at some point have a punt at it in Spanish and see if I can make any sense of it at all. Okay, so no, we'll leave that as is and take it as happy. Hello. Oh, right, okay. Right.
I'd already decided it was going to be my last night in Max's village.
Perfect!
I was sorry to be leaving, but I was restless again.
Beware! The day grows dark, and demons stalk the gap by night.
Harsh, old woman, stop your superstitious nonsense. Besides, this is the best time of day for fishing, eh, Marlo?
Yes, Dad. Look, Foster, I use these broken sensors to make a fish alarm. It detects the fish before it bites.
Nice work, Milo.
Milo was just like me as a boy, and the tech skills I'd taught him would help the village after I left.
Do you really have to go, Foster? How can we ever pay you back for all you've done?
It's been my pleasure, Max. One of Anita's pies will be payment enough.
I owed the Gap folks so much. My first tribe fostered me when I was orphaned all those years ago. They taught me how to recycle tech scavenged from city dumps. Soon, I even built myself a playmate.
I'm your friend. Call me Joey.
That is Joey!
Joey and I were always together. As I grew, I upgraded him. He became the best friend I ever had. But then...
Foster! Foster, wake up! The sensors detect a fish. It's a big one.
What the?
It was no fish.
Max, keep back! Milo!
Dad! What are they?
Max! Drop him, you...
Dad! Foster! Help me! Help me!
Milo had gone. The machine, too. But its riders had left something behind.
Max? Milo? What's happened, Foster? Where's my son? Max? Max? Oh, no! I told them there were demons stalking the dark.
The stalker that attacked us was a machine, not a demon.
Please, Foster, I don't understand. What happened?
I told Anita everything I could, though I knew very little. Max was barely conscious. I could only hope that with Anita's loving care, he would recover. As for me, I had to follow Milo and his captors immediately.
You must know.
I'll bring Milo home, Anita. I promise.
Thank you, Foster. I know you will.
Dawn was breaking as I left the village. The featureless wastes of the Gap stretched away from me. Night followed day, then day dawned once more. Time lost meaning as the tracks beckoned me ever forward. Determination had long replaced sadness. Whatever it took, I would find Milo. The tracks were barely visible now, blurred by the wind. But I was sure I'd reach their destination soon. Then I saw the thing I feared the most approaching. Sandstorm. I battled forward, but now could only guess that my direction was correct. I decided to save my energy and sank into an exhausted sleep. Maybe the old woman was right. Maybe demons did stalk the Gap. For as it shrieked and thundered around me, the storm brought back my nightmare once more. Union City security was attacking. As my tribe screamed in terror, I salvaged Joey's motherboard. Taken captive, I couldn't save my village. But I survived when the security copter crashed, entering Union City. On the run, I soon got Joey working. Upgraded yet again, he helped me overthrow the evil that ran the city. As I left, I told him to make the citizens happy. Union City was no place for me. I wanted to be where I could do most good, helping the scattered people of the Gap. I woke to find the storm had passed. But not without finishing its cruel work. The tracks were gone. I was lost, and so, I feared, was Milo. Then I heard them. Gang birds, scavengers, and in this wasteland, that meant only one thing: people.
Indeed, previously on Beneath the Steel Sky. The previous game, the intro was done like that. And it was by Dave Gibbons, a 2000 AD artist.
Despair turned to hope. I was sure that if I could find where the stalker had gone, I would find Milo. Then, in the distance, I saw a girl crouching over a body.
Okay. Welcome to the tutorial section.
A beady-eyed gang bird was watching me.
Yep, holding shift to run, thank you.
The girl was holding a device to the lifeless hand.
Hey, excuse me.
Who the hell are you?
I'm searching for a vehicle that...
Ah, no! Damn birds!
Wait, I just...
Whatever that device was, the bird had it now.
Wow. Objects that Foster can interact with are highlighted with a reticule. Center your screen around the chosen object and move closer to it. Oh, good lord, this is pretty. Wow. The original physical copy of the game came with a printed comic. Yeah, they were giving away printed copies of the comic for anyone who played the demo last year. I'm not saying that was the only reason I played the demo, but I made damn sure I got my comic. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Hello?
No way I was going to get between those birds and their feast.
Fine.
A corpse lay propped against a rock.
Have I got anything here? I've got the crowbar. Android finger, a pie, and a crowbar. Yeah, they're not impressed.
There were few things that would scare gangs, and a crowbar was not one of them. I would need to find another solution.
I'm actually wondering about the finger. I'm also wondering about the pie, to be honest. Yep, go get food. Psychotic little vulture parrots.
The girl had been doing something to the guy's hand. I wondered what. He'd clearly been dead for days.
I don't know, but loot the body.
The logo. I'd seen it before. On the androids that had taken Milo. The girl was my only lead. I had to follow her. Union City. I was back.
Oh, this looks amazing. Transition from comic style to gameplay was well done. Yeah. Again, so it was in the first game.
Over the years, I'd heard rumors of how the city had thrived since I'd left Joey in charge. I was finally going to see for myself.
Yeah, a bit worried about that. Right, let's have a quick buzz round. Yeah, so that's not right. Okay. That's not good at all, in fact.
Oh! Halt!
Oh yeah.
Welcome, unregistered Gaplander.
Well, hi. And you are?
Community Welfare Droid 2CU at your service. To commence your Union City registration, please make your way to the immigration terminal.
That's okay, I'm not here to register. I'm looking for...
If you're looking for the immigration terminal, it's right over there. Thank you.
So how do I register?
Easy. Just go to the immigration terminal and you'll get a U-chip for your temporary ID. The correct route is indicated by these signs.
Sounds easy.
It is. Without it, you won't be able to interact with any of the Minos devices in this area.
What's this Minos you mentioned?
Minos is the interconnected computer system that is everywhere and controls everything.
Everything? That sounds very similar to Link.
For the convenience of all citizens. And, word to the wise, no U-chip, no access to the Minos devices. Not even the vending machines. So go register.
Okay.
I'm looking for a vehicle that maybe came this way.
A vehicle? Well, this is a freight entrance. So, you're in the right place.
Right. I need to find a boy called Milo. He was...
What you need to find is the immigration terminal. It's right over there.
Okay.
Remind me how to register with Union City?
The immigration terminal is back there in the gardens. You want a U-chip? That's where you've got to go.
Thanks.
I'm not going to get anywhere.
Can you help me find a missing kid?
You want to file a missing persons report? Go register.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Pleasure. How can I help?
Okay. Yep.
The sign was directing me towards immigration.
I like that so much. I'm guessing the girl was trying to extract a U-chip, yeah.
It was a tire or modern art. I couldn't tell which.
Yeah, you reckon we might conceivably have to be doing the registration thing? Okay.
I guess this was the immigration terminal.
I love the interface.
Welcome to the Union City Registration Terminal. Please place your hand below to receive your U-chip implant.
This is gonna hurt.
U-chip implant successful. You are now registered with Union
A
City.
U-chip had been implanted into the palm of my hand. I wasn't sure how it was going to help me.
But I did see a bin, and I'm just checking to see if there's anything usable in there. The answer is unfortunately no.
Authorized citizen ID required.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it, is it? I've got a temporary immigration visa. Right. So, let's have a proper look around. Ministry of Comfort, help us keep the city free of vermin. Yeah, how's that working out for you? Sentence to walk the garden path. Yeah, I don't think it's that subtle.
He was a scruffy-looking technician. Excuse me.
Oh, hello, visitor.
What's up with your bollard? Maybe I can help.
You?
Sure.
Hey, listen, Mr. Gaplander. it's totally cute that you want to help. But this mechanism's a teeny bit more advanced than what you're used to.
You'd be surprised. I'm pretty handy with these sorts of things.
Sorry, got to get back to this bollard. It ain't gonna fix itself.
Right, is this the point, Robinson, where I just talk to everybody once and then bugger off without actually having a conversation? Okay, so their bollard is bollocks.
One of the posts was jammed.
I would be astounded if this works.
It's working! Hey, we fixed it!
What's this wee stuff?
Piece of cake.
Dude, Council sure is shining in my direction today. Do you know how many times I've scanned this thing? The last scan must have done the trick. You see, I'm the diagnostician and tech expert around here. Name's Hobsworth. What can I do for you?
Hobsworth? Oh!
So what's your deal, Hobsworth?
I am a diagnostician for the Ministry of Comfort.
And what exactly does a diagnostician do?
I find problems.
And fix them?
No, I just diagnose them. Minos fixes them.
And hello, Meki. You missed the start. What was the start like? The start was quite loud, in comic book formats that looks remarkably like this. And a giant robot emerged from a lake, or possibly sea, stole a kid that Foster was with and took him to Union City. And that's pretty much where we are.
Tell me about Joey.
Praise Joey. Not a day goes by where I don't thank him for the happiness and prosperity he brought to Union City.
Not liking that past
Joey
tense.
and I go way back. We must be talking about the same one.
Well, it depends. Our Joey was kind, benevolent, generous, firm, resolute, moral, was magnanimous, proactive, and a friend to all citizens alike. Does that sound like your Joey?
No, Joey was nice.
My Joey was more of a sarcastic pain in the... But he was my best friend.
Hello, Alexia. Yeah, lots and lots of past tense going on there. Not happy about this.
Do you need technical expertise to be a diagnostician?
Of course. You need to know exactly where to point your scanner. See, I come to work and I pick up my scanner here, and then I report the problem. My interventions are key to the smooth running of Union City.
I'm looking for a vehicle that might have passed this way.
What kind of vehicle? Maybe I can help.
Well, I didn't get a good look, but I know it has 4 giant legs.
Legs? Word to the wise man. Vehicles have wheels.
Not this one. It walked on the sand. And it was, shaped like a dog.
Whoa. That doesn't sound like any vehicle I've ever heard of. And I've got more magazines under my bed than you can even imagine.
That was more information than I needed to know. I love the high-vis he's in.
About this missing kid.
Dude, word of advice, huh? Since you're new here?
Okay.
Look, maybe kidnapping is the sort of thing you people do in the Gap. But this is Union City, man. We're a proper society.
Gotcha. Thanks. It's really important I find this vehicle.
Why?
Because it kidnapped a child from my village.
Well, that's the Gap for you. It's like the Wild West, but, you know, without the West.
I know it sounds crazy, but I've been tracking the missing child for...
Nah. If it's missing children you're looking for, you best try the Gap. Not here. Good day now.
Okay, he is not happy with me.
Excuse me?
Well, hey...
Well, I...
Great. By the way, just so you know, I'm on the clock.
Yes, of course. No problem.
Okay, let's finish off
Nice
talking
jacket.
to you.
Oh, thanks. I like yours too.
Oh, right
See
then.
you around, Hobsworth.
Now, Hobsworth was the
Before
name...
I forget, I really appreciate your patience back there when I was fixing the bridge. Let me thank you properly. Give me your hand.
Okay.
There you go. Your kudos just got a boost.
Aha!
Thanks, I think.
Keep a smile on your face.
Work order.
Okay. How are we working on? Yes, we are on manual saves. New data. Oh, that's nice. On the main menu, we have my main objective, we have the contents of my inventory, and the hint system.
Work order received. Work order accepted.
Right, let's have a poke around and see if what kind of trouble I can cause.
There was something strange about the water, and there was an unmistakable smell of ozone. Up close, I could see the water was holographically concealing an electric fence.
I really don't know I should be touching this, but you know what? It's beneath the steel sky.
Back there. I wondered if it was live.
Yep.
Ow!
Yes, it was.
I was shocked to discover that it was. No wonder the gangs kept clear of this death trap.
Yep. That's the level of humour we've come to expect from beneath and beyond the steel sky. Okay. Connecting to Minos. Civic guide, personal data. Anything else? Ministry of Aspiration, Wellbeing, Safety, Comfort and Consumption. Helping you strive every day in every way. Here at the Aspiration Ministry, we believe every citizen has not just a right but a duty to strive towards reaching the bottom. To that end, we'll advise, help, support your journey to achieve your Union City goals. Key to this is our world-famous kudos system of rewards, guaranteeing each time you contribute to Union City, that moment is logged and appreciated and reflected in your kudos statement of value. All you have to do is aspire. Oh, wow. Welcome to the different departments. Okay. In Beneath the Steel Sky, the higher grades of accommodation were on ground level. We're talking massive tower blocks. So all the heavy industry was up at the top, and it was all unpleasant and polluted. Down at the bottom you had gardens, you had high grade apartments, you had houses. Ministry of Consumption. Okay, spend a lifetime striving. Since the council took over running the city, not liking the sound of that, we brokered deals with suppliers across the continent to ensure every product is the best available and every product will arrive on time in perfect condition. Whether you're upgrading to a new apartment, configuring a next-gen... oh dear, DRYD, or just ordering tonight's easy all-you-can-eat sofa buffet. Okay. Safety, aka security. Right, that's not what I meant to do. Don't want to eat a sofa. No, you and me both, mate. Right, let's have a look at my personal data. No photos found. I'm grade C+ in my kudos history. One person has been nice to me.
Enjoy this little piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos.
I'll have the
She
Spankles
ejected
can.
a garish, beclowned can of soda, labeled Spankles.
are currently at your maximum allotted Spangles allowance. Have a nice day.
Uh-huh. Right.
Citizen, welcome to the Abridged Audio-Visual Union City Fact File. The Union City walls were forged in 1994 by a small team of resilient workers. A common misconception is that the team was formed of Australian citizens. This couldn't be further from the truth. The city wall was constructed using British steel imported, along with workers, from Hull in the United Kingdom. Many of the citizens of Union City can trace their ancestry back to that small and very dedicated group of immigrants. This concludes your requested fact. Please return for an all-new Union City fact. And remember, be vigilant. This message is sponsored by the Ministry of Comfort.
I love this game. I adore this game. It's brilliant. Oh my god.
It was a statue of my friend Joey. I couldn't imagine why they would have erected it. If Milo had been taken this way, I was sure Joey would help me find him. I needed to find someone around here who'd seen the stalker.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. Nice work, game.
The guy looked like he'd been out in the sun a bit too long. Smelled like it, too. Sir, excuse me, sir. Are you...
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
No, I'm not selling any...
A likely story. Name's Wendell. Joe Wendell.
Nice to meet you.
That remains to be seen.
I'm looking for a vehicle.
Well, mate, today's your lucky day. This is a vehicle.
No, I'm looking for a special vehicle.
But Brucey is special. All he needs is his power cell and we'll be on our way.
The vehicle I'm looking for had 4 legs and no wheels.
A vehicle with legs? Think you've got bats in your belfry, mate.
I saw what I saw. It kidnapped a kid from my village.
You're not the first I've heard talking about kids going missing in the Gap. But I've never seen any come through here.
So, Hull, you say? Workers imported from Hull. I loved when he mentioned the power cell. Bingo, up there.
Your truck's power cell has drained.
Aye, emptier than a politician's vows. There was a sandstorm put the bridge over yonder out of action. I was told to go park for a few hours. Turned into a few days. Trying to keep the mini case cool in this heat emptied the power cell. I wasn't stingy on the aircon, mind, or the margarita blender up in the cab. A working man needs his creature comforts. Anyway, 13.7 volts drained to naught. And they still haven't fixed that blooming bridge.
And you've been sat here ever since?
No choice, until they send someone out to juice up Brucey's power cell. Someone competent, I mean.
Have you spoken to Hobsworth?
Didn't I say someone competent? That muffin doesn't know a panhard rod from a Chapman strut.
Yes, it's Hull. It's Hull, pronounced Hull. Oh, that's brilliant.
So, your truck is full of mini knockwurst?
You betcha. Mini K, best in the Gap. Even contains some real meat. You're welcome to take a handful. Back of the truck's open, although the doors like to play silly beggars.
Oh?
Requires a special technique. Ritual, you could call it.
Ritual?
Aye. Now listen carefully. Step 1, give the bumper a wallop.
Uh-huh.
Step 2, do a little jig. Step 3, pull the door and jerk it hard.
Wallop, jig, pull. That it?
That's it, lad. And remember the order.
Wallop, jig, pull. Everyone got that? Good.
Any vehicles come through here recently? Specifically, the four-legged variety.
The only thing's been through here recently are birds, bad smells, and the occasional light breeze.
See, I've been following these tracks, but about a day and a half ago.
All right, pal. Didn't ask for your life story.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Those mini-Ks you mentioned.
As I say, grab an handful. Truck's open.
Okay.
Listen, you haven't
Pinched something of yours?
No. He was kidnapped.
Oh, I see. Sorry to hear that. Have you asked those kids over by the playground? They've been here a lot longer than me.
Uh-huh.
I take it this is your truck?
It's got my name on it, don't it?
Your name is W?
Well, some of it.
Okay.
Be seeing you.
Aye.
Right.
There was a strange smell, and it was coming from the truck.
I suppose, yep, we've got kids on the playground over there. I just love the look of this game. It's amazing. I do, however, just want to see if I can remap. No, okay. Okay, no, that's fair enough. It's simple enough keyboard controls. Murder of gangs.
I reminded myself of the collective noun. A murder of gangs.
Oh, no. Well, they didn't respond to a crowbar.
Those birds weren't going to let me anywhere near the back of the truck.
Okay. Yep, vulture parrots. Let's go talk to the kids and see if they can help me. I love the peril music for walking into a playground. There's no real bird called the vampire parrot. Yeah, I believe there's a Dracula parrot. Oh, hello. Gap child.
A sturdy chain tethered the roundabout to the ground.
Okay. Got my crowbar. I used that crowbar so often in the first game.
Yes, okay, let's go. Push me.
I don't know. I want to talk to you first.
Push me. Push me.
I've got things to do.
Push me.
Okay, fine.
The roundabout had seen better days, but it still looked functional.
Oh, this child is going to end up on their head. Hi.
I recognized the girl. She was the one who'd run away from me earlier.
Name needs workshopping. All playgrounds should come with peril music.
Excuse me. Hello?
You!
Me what?
You're the guy in the desert.
And you're the girl with the corpse.
Okay, first of all, that guy was dead long before I got there. And second of all, it's your fault Big Steve stole my deed.
Lost your what? To who?
Do you realize how much potential trade you've cost me?
Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ugh. I trade. I'm a trader. Name's Ember.
What were you doing out there in the desert with that corpse?
Mister, are you looking to trade something or what?
Trade?
Trade, you know, tech, gadgets, knickknacks from the Gap or the city. That's what I do. I collect stuff, sell stuff, trade stuff. Only, since you're interfering, let Big Steve fly off with my deed, It'll be a while before I can make proper trades again. Now excuse me.
What's a deet?
My DEET, man. DTT. Data transfer tool. DEET.
What's the deet for?
Duh, transferring data. That's what I was doing with that dead fella. Transferring his citizen ID for trading, yeah?
Ah.
You distracted me, and Big Steve nabbed it and flew off. Like I said, thanks.
Who's Big Steve?
You see all these birds all over the place? Big Steve's the purple one, with a beak full of my DEET.
She is fantastic.
I just need to know if you've seen a missing kid come this way.
You're looking in the wrong place. Only boys around here are Pixel and Voxel, and the only thing they're missing is a few screws.
What were you doing?
I told
whoops.
Only now, Big Steve has my DEET and ipso facto, the ID.
Okay.
What's a U-chip?
It holds your identity, yeah? All your messages and likes and favorites and that. Everyone from the city has one. So, you want something, or you want to get inside your house, and you just boop, and it just happens.
Fair enough.
Tell me about this deet.
Simple. I collect IDs and I use the DEET to swap them. At least I did, until Big Steve grabbed it.
Okay, we have a basis for trade here.
Did you see a strange vehicle come through this way?
Strange? You mean like that stinky one there?
No. This one had legs.
Not seen anything like that. Maybe you didn't either, crazy guy.
I'm not crazy.
Sure you're not.
Any idea whose body that was out there?
Dunno. Just some guy from the city.
How do you know?
'Cause I got the citizen's ID from his U-chip. Duh.
Are you sure you haven't seen a young boy?
Kinda hard to get lost in a crowd here. This place ain't exactly Aspiration Plaza. So no, I haven't seen your kid.
What do you trade?
Like I said, sometimes people from outside want stuff from the inside. Sometimes people from inside want stuff from the outside. Second one doesn't happen very often since inside's got, like, everything and free. But it happens.
Suppose a guy from outside wanted to get inside.
Ah, my most popular item. Until Big Steve took my DEET, that is.
Okay.
So are you digging that guy's U-chip out of his hand?
What? No! Data transfer. I told you. I cloned his ID data onto the DEET for later.
What happens later?
Well, you know, maybe someone doesn't want to be found. I do swapsies.
For a price?
Yeah.
I got a U-chip with a temporary ID from over there.
Good for you. They're free.
Can I get into the city with it?
No. And yes. And no.
Break that down for me.
No, a temp ID is so they can keep track of you around here. Won't get you inside. Yes, I could DEET that corpse's ID onto a U-chip. And no, because as you well know, my DEET's been eaten.
Okay.
That's all for now. Thanks.
Anytime. Oh wait, no. Come back if you want to talk business.
For someone with a business interest in dead bodies, she seemed pretty normal.
I love this. I'm sorry, I was hoping that this game was going to stack up. Certainly to the demo. And just generally overall, but I wasn't 100% certain. And God knows.
A makeshift workbench had been set up.
Been
Its
disappointed
structural
before.
integrity seemed over-reliant on some old deflated tires.
Yep, no PC freezes so far. It looks fantastic.
Grabbit's Independent Traders. I bought from sketchier places out in the Gap.
Ah, yes. Grabbit's Independent Traders, huh? Hello. Can I get up there? No, okay. Small child. Talk to me, child.
Hey, kid.
Push me. Push me.
I've got things to do.
Push me.
Okay, fine. I'll push you, dude. Yeah. And I'm sure it's not at all influenced by Trotter's independent traders. Oh, that's nice.
Hey, kid.
Hey, weird guy.
My name's not Weird Guy.
I'm Pixel. It's easy to remember because it rhymes with pickle.
So it does. I'm Foster.
I'll remember that easy because your name rhymes with fossil and you're old.
Thanks, kid. What's your story, Pixel?
Well, I'm 8 years old and my birthday is in only 64 days. I'm really good at math and I can even lift my sister. And she's super fat.
Oh,
Very
charming small child.
Yep. Anything I can help you with today?
Did a vehicle come through here recently?
Maybe. How recently is recently?
Like 2 nights ago?
Oh, then definitely no. But wait, 2 nights ago? My brother, Vauxhall, he saw this giant monster.
What kind of monster?
Like a totally huge, but not real one.
Huge, but not real?
I mean, Vauxhall says it's totally huge, and Ember says it's not real.
Well, which is it?
I don't know what to believe.
I love that you get the new topics coming up there as the conversation goes through. I'm inclined to say for accessibility, they have done a hell of a job so far.
What's this about a giant monster?
Right, so my brother Vauxhall, like 2 nights ago, it was night time, right? And we had been playing this massive game of buzzsaws and dynamos, so I was like, wah! But, where was I?
The giant monster.
Oh yeah, right. So, later that night, he wakes me up screaming about how he saw a giant monster.
And?
That's the end of my story. Don't tell Ember I told you.
I'm looking for a boy about your age named Milo, who may have come through here.
You're asking the right guy. I remember every face that's come through here since I was a little kid.
Yeah? How many's that?
Like, at least 12. How recently are we talking?
Sometime over the past couple of nights.
Oh, didn't know. Haven't seen no kids.
So far, the only problem with this game is it's giving you a similar vibe to the McDonald's Eater campaign you were planning. Oh no!
This vehicle, it had legs instead of wheels.
Vehicles don't have legs, though.
This one did. Your brother saw a monster, right? You thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, that it was a giant daddy long legs.
No. That your brother's monster was actually...
A very small daddy long legs, but very close to him.
No.
I caught a daddy long legs once. What was your question?
Yeah, I've had conversations like this with small children.
Listen, about this monster.
Jeez, man. Why are you so obsessed with monsters? They're not real.
You sure you haven't seen any children come through here?
Nope. Definitely would have remembered.
What about anything suspicious?
Suspicious? Yeah, there was this one guy. Tall, wearing a big coat and carrying a purse.
I see. Nice one.
And his name was Fossil!
I got the joke, kid. What do you do here?
Well, me and my brother and my sister usually live in a tribe way over that way by the old burnt-down radio tower. But it's like so boring there. We come here for the action.
God, this is the action-packed place to come.
I can see why. Who's Vauxhall?
My brother, remember?
Can I talk to him?
I guess, but he's not as friendly or helpful as me. Real question is, will he talk to you? He's been hiding for like 2 days now. Won't speak to nobody but me.
Can you tell me where to find him? Maybe he'll talk to me.
Maybe. Yeah, okay. You done me a favour. He's hiding in a bench in the garden. I told him I wouldn't tell no one, but you seem okay.
Any idea how I can get more answers out of Voxel?
I don't know, but I'm getting sick of the whole monster thing.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah. And we have autosave, which we like. Both auto and manual. Okay, what are you doing?
Hobbsworth, was it?
Ah, hello again, stranger.
How are things going with Wendell's power cell?
It's in my office.
But how long until it's charged?
It's hard to say, but it's on my list.
Any updates on Wendell's power cell?
Not yet, but I'll get onto it soon.
See you around, Hobbsworth.
Uh-huh.
Keep a smile on your face.
Oh, I'm gonna punch him repeatedly with my crowbar.
I hadn't seen one of these terminals in 10 years. Link. The evil behind everything that happened all those years ago. The attack on my village. The death of my mother. Nothing happened. Probably because the machine had had its innards ripped out.
God, yes, that's a Link terminal.
Hi.
Hi again.
Thanks,
Okay.
Ember.
Bye now.
Oh, she was saying could use some of those wires. Right, okay. Oh, hello.
I hadn't seen one of these terminals in 10
Yeah,
years.
skippable, unskippable. Yeah, skippable. Dialogue is skippable. Thank you. We haven't seen one of these terminals in 26 years. Yeah. I mean, I was replaying relatively recently, of course. But, yeah, 26 years.
A metaphysical symmetry of curvature, man and machine. If that was art, I must have been missing something.
Okay, now that that bollard's fixed, let's go and see why the bridge isn't working. Ooh, hello. Oh, nice! He was trying to use it and she was not having it.
The hologram was already active.
Okay.
The hologram showed a young woman in uniform.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Welcome to Union City. My name is Greta. It is my duty and pleasure to answer any questions you may have about Union City and the local area. How may I help you today?
Well, it's been 10 years for him, Alexia, and he was young adult. Wait, Yeldrat. Rita sounds like a young version of Nancy.
So is Joey still running things around here?
He was, until just a few years ago.
That doesn't sound good. Hope he didn't screw things up.
Not at all, sir. Joey the Savior was a great leader. Citizen happiness reached unprecedented levels.
Good to hear it. I happen to be an old friend of his.
Oh, we're all friends of Joey, sir. Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, not happy about
Is there
that.
some way I can speak to Joey?
Sadly not, sir.
Oh, you mean he's not around at all?
Gone to a better place, sir. Went to find peace after a lifetime of service. Some say he strode out into the gap one morning, Others say he took a boat at dusk and went to explore other lands.
So who runs the city now?
The Council of Elected Ministers, of course.
The mannerisms, certainly, Meki. The accent's different, but the mannerisms are quite similar to Nancy from Planet Zoo, yeah.
This U-chip thing, what does it do?
It allows you to interact with all the Minos devices in the area, as well as storing all your personal information.
Sounds kinda invasive.
We prefer the word transformative, sir.
Oh yeah, that's comforting.
A child has been kidnapped from my village.
From your village? Was the child a registered citizen of Union City?
No, his name is Milo, and...
Polite apology, Minos can only concern itself with registered citizens.
I was hoping you'd be able to help.
And isn't hope a wonderful thing? In the meantime, do you have any other queries?
Oh my god.
I'm looking for a vehicle. Has anything come through here?
No.
You haven't seen a weird vehicle with legs instead of wheels?
Polite apology. I cannot discuss the details of other visitors' vehicular movements.
But this vehicle, it kidnapped a child.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
A child has been kidnapped.
From your... Was...
Oh, no, okay.
Polite apology. And isn't hope a wonderful thing? In the meantime, do you have any other queries?
Nope, I think that's my lot.
Nice day.
In Union City, sir, there is no other kind of day.
Yep, you are creeping me out big style. So, we get an autosave after every combo, which is nice. Yes, the child was not a registered citizen and therefore does not count. Lovely. So, is that just a normal terminal? Probably. Because there's one on the other side of the clown. Yeah, okay, fine. Right, okay.
The bridge seemed to be operated by some sort of hand scanner.
Okay, so you get Hobbsworth hand.
Error. Insufficient permission. Citizen ID required.
Okie dokie. Where's Hobbsworth gone? Where is he? Come on, the dude's in high-vis. Shouldn't be that hard. There he is.
Whoa! It's occupied!
Damn.
You gotta leave, man.
Don't know, the door just opened for me. Maybe it's broken.
Whoa, broken? Lucky I'm the diagnostician around here, huh? Best you keep out for your own good, mate. It's dangerous technical stuff in here.
Sorry.
Damn.
It seemed I wouldn't get in while the hut was occupied.
Okay. I'm guessing I need to be registered.
Authorized citizen ID required.
Yeah. Okay. Tempted to use a crowbar on it and see what happens. Right, okie dokie. So, my status at the moment to find out where the stalkers went. I've got Boggle. I wonder what Ember will do for me. In the way of transfers. But also, I wonder if Wendell has got anything.
How's it going, Wendell?
Can't complain. Not like anybody'd listen if I did.
That's the spirit.
What's on your mind?
Hey, Knight. Remember, don't talk to anyone. Thank you very much for the resub. Thanks massively. Time to bring the bone saw. I just love that everyone is now completely down with the idea of lopping this guy's hand off.
What was that you said about other missing kids?
Nothing specific.
Go on, try me.
Oh, just rumours. Voices on the wind, campfire tales. One man's kidnapping is another man's wandered off and fell down an hole, says I. No kids round here. Oh, except those young bucks over yonder. Sorry I can't help.
You sure you haven't seen any vehicles come this way?
Those land trains pass through up top every few minutes. Nothing down here, though.
Okay.
When the power cell is working, what are you hauling then?
Mini Ks. Artisanal, organic, handcrafted protein cylinders. At least that's what it says on the packet.
Sounds expensive.
Doesn't it? Between you and me, they're just Knackwurst sausages. But these city folk love a tagline.
How long have you been here?
Lost count, but the delicious aroma emanating from my Mini Ks suggests at least 2 days.
Aren't you worried that they might be going rancid?
Well, nothing that a healthy chlorine wash won't fix.
Oh, yeah, I am sorry you're still feeling crap, Knight.
Mind if I take a look at the power cell? I'm pretty handy with this sort of stuff.
Hobbsworth has it. Told me he'd have it charged in a jiffy.
Great. How long ago was that?
About 1 million jiffies ago. My guess is it's either gathering dust or it's being ground to dust.
So all you need to get into the city is a charged power cell?
Land snakes alive, yes. A power cell. Do you want me to write it down?
No, I got it.
I had this sinking feeling that the wrecked power cell in Hobbsworth's hut was the one that Wendell hoped would power his truck.
Yeah.
The doors, they're locked shut.
Not locked, jammed. Oh, and I'm all out of lubricant.
So how can I get in?
Didn't you listen? I'll hit you all. First off, give the bumper a good wallop. Then, do a little jig.
A jig?
Aye, a jig. Then pull the door hard.
Pretty technical, huh?
Have to move with the times, pal.
Okay.
I'll leave you be.
So if I can get his power cell. I'm worried that what I thought was a tattoo of the whatever the hell that is on his chest is in fact 3D. Okay, so what are we looking at here?
There was an empty space where the power cell should have been.
Okay. Now, there was a kid hiding in the bench. There's a bench there. There we go.
Voxel was hiding out in the makeshift den.
Hello, Voxel.
Shh. What?
My name is Foster. I've just got a few questions.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you if you've seen any monsters.
How do you know about the monster?
Oh.
Truth is, I'm a monster hunter. I've been tracking a monster across the desert for days. I think he came through here, and I'm looking for someone brave enough to see it and live to tell the tale.
I saw it.
Can you describe it?
It was big and beastie, and it eats children, and I could hear the screaming, and it was fast and dark and silent.
Slow down, one thing at a time.
It was big, like a giant dog.
A giant dog? That sounds like what I'm after. Did you see any children?
No, but I heard them. I heard kids crying inside its tummy.
And where did it go?
It sneaked off into the city. After that, I got in here. No way am I gonna let it get me.
Anyone else?
You've been in here for 2 days?
Still alive, aren't I?
Anybody else thinking that the city is grabbing kids from the Gap to, I don't know, fix a population gap or something? Clearly the tentacles of his symbiote peeking out for a bit of fresh air. Could be. Okay.
Did you say you heard kids crying from inside the dog?
I think so. Sure sounded like that.
Can you tell me more about these missing kids?
only that I heard them inside the monster.
This giant dog. Where did you see it?
I was playing buzzsaws and dynamos with Pixel. I won, and he was really cross. Then, in the night, I woke up. It was totally dark. I'd heard this sound.
I love the multiple watches up his arm.
Padding along the road, big feet, and then I heard screams, children's screams. I ran over here and hid in my fort.
And you've been in here ever since?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Well, we know that they were growing clone bodies in the first game. I love that they have either hired some sterling VAs or they've actually hired child actors. But they've hired really, really good voices. A Plague Tale is the only one that I can think of with the same level of decent child acting. And yeah, the dialogue is right for children.
Did anyone else see the dog?
I don't think so. No one believes it even exists. But you do, don't you? You believe me?
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, Voxel. I'm on the hunt. How long ago did you see this dog?
It was 1, 2, 3... 2. It was 2 nights ago.
And you've been in here ever since?
Yeah. I'm hungry.
How long ago did you see the...
Oh no. Okay.
And you've been in here?
Yeah. I'm hungry.
Oh,
Any
bless
ideas
him.
on getting into the city?
People go in and out of the main gate. Are you gonna go in there and kill it?
Sure am. That's what monster hunters do best. Then I'm gonna bring Milo and the other children back out.
You will? Oh, you better take this.
Oh, hello.
Thanks. What is it?
A firecracker. I was gonna use it to kill the monster. But you can have it.
Oh.
What do I do with this firecracker?
I don't know. Throw it at the monster. But cover your ears.
Ha ha ha. Right. Okay.
You know how I can...
I already said you need to get across the river and through the big doors.
Okay.
Bye.
Hey, you got anything to eat? I'm kinda hungry.
I could keep an eye out.
Mr. Hopsworth sometimes lets me have some of his lunch. He doesn't usually know that, though.
Oh, bless.
Understood.
Bless his little
Voxel's giant dog sounded a lot like the stalker that had taken Milo. Now I was sure that the stalker had entered the city. There had to be a way in through the main gates.
Beneath did indeed have full voice acting, as do the Broken Sword games. Murder the murder of parrots and get the stinky almost meat to eat the darling child. Yes, we must protect Voxel. Abso-fracking-lutely. Oh Christ, Ember.
Hi.
Hi again.
I'm not going to turn around.
You got one of them new chips?
Yeah, just got one from the terminal over there.
That one's no good. They've given you a cheap temp ID so the droids don't run you over. Bridge only opens to citizens. Soz, mate.
I spoke to Voxel about his monster problem.
You what?
I think his monster is the vehicle I've been tracking.
Oh, good for you. So you told him the monster was real? Won't be seeing him anytime soon. Nice one, Super Dad.
Voxel's a skittish one, isn't he?
Watch your mouth. How'd you know where to find him anyway?
Pixel told me.
Mate, I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't know them. Let's keep it that way. Stop asking questions, finish your business, and move along. Meanwhile, where's Pixel? Me and him need to have some words about stranger danger.
Bye.
Thanks, Ember.
Bye now.
I'm not even going to turn around to look at you
Ember's
because
deed had a
you're
citizen
terrifying.
ID stored on it.
Okay. Let's go check out. We're looking for the purple one. So yeah, I'm thinking murder of gangs and a firecracker. Oh, to play through Senses through Broken Swords since you never finished your playthrough of Game 1. Broken Swords on my list if people are interested. Okay. Worried that it's already smoking. Unrealistic. Right, okay. Perform the door ritual. So, it's hit the bumper.
Hit the bumper.
Do a jig.
These were not my best moves.
And then pull the door. I got a mini K. Let's go feed Voxel. I hope he's immune to food poisoning. Mind you, he's from the Gap. His intestinal system is probably brilliant.
Me again. Can we talk some more?
Hi.
What's this about a sandwich?
Mr. Hopsworth always brings sandwiches from the city. They're so good.
Ah.
He's usually got 1 or 2 in his hut.
Should I ask Mr. Hobsworth if he wants to share?
How did you get
No,
into
don't
the
do
hut?
that. He likes sharing best when he doesn't know about it.
Can I grab another one of those firecrackers?
Sorry, mister. That was the last one.
See you around.
Okay. So, sandwiches. I can do, but only if I can get into his hut. Right then.
Authorized citizen ID required.
Okay, and I can't use anything from my inventory on there, so that's fine. But I can see Asani in there. And what looks suspiciously like... Okay. Wendell, hi. Mini K.
Would you like to hear a knack verse joke?
Yes.
Not really.
How do you make a sausage roll?
Listen,
Push it down an hill.
Is that the best you're going to give me, sir?
Hey, Wendell.
Managed to get those doors open all right?
Yep.
Just about.
Did you, do the jig?
Sure did. You said it was essential.
That's right. Although, here's a funny thing. My wife never does the jig back at the farm. But it always seems to open for her. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Do you need a vehicle to get into the city?
You do, but I don't. I've got Brucey here. What I do need is a new power cell.
Okay,
And you can't just walk in?
Are you mad? Walk into the city? There's guns guarding them main gates, and they'd make mincemeat out of you, Sonny Jim.
Want one of these mini Ks?
Oh, better not.
I thought you loved them.
Oh, of course I do. They're delicious.
What?
Don't get high on your own supply.
Sorry?
No scoffage on thine own sausage.
Oh, I see. Suit yourself.
Oh, God.
Any ideas on how I can get into the city?
Aye, that's easy. You just need one small thing.
Great. What?
A truck.
What? Like yours?
No, not like mine. You want one that actually moves under its own power. That being said, you won't even get across the bridge without an authorized ID. Citizen's ID gets you all the way into the city, privileges and all. I've got ID, all right, but my power cell's empty.
Okay,
Long story short, I could drive in. If I could drive in.
So, we are looking for... Oh, I wonder if Hobsworth is that dim. Hi.
Hey, Hobsworth.
Hey, what can I do for you?
This may sound like a stupid question, but how do I actually get into the city?
Well, first thing would be to head over to the city gates.
Yes?
If you got a valid ID, and just scan your U-chip, and the bridge will open.
Valid for what?
Now, that is the stupid question. You need a vehicle to get through the big doors there. If you have transport clearance, like that old fella with the smelly truck, you just drive up, scan your ID, and roll right onto the elevator down to the cargo bay.
So, you haven't seen any...
Nothing like you've described. Sorry.
About this missing kid.
I can't help you there. Now, please stop asking.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of uncomfortable, you know what I mean?
See you around, Hobsworth.
Okay,
Keep
I
a
wonder what
smile on your
happens
face.
if I give him...
Got something for you, Hobsworth.
Is that one of those meaty whatsits from the nice old gen over there?
You bet it is. Want one?
Oh, I'm not a sausage kind of guy, you know?
Darn it. Okay. You hope we're stealing Hobsworth's truck. Well, Hobsworth has the ID. Okay. I love the idea that this is just their waste disposal. It's horrid. So...
The bridge seemed to be operated by some sort of hand scanner.
Right. Okay, so I need to go and...
Come on, big
Right.
fella.
There we go. There we don't go. Right, okay, fine. Right, got it.
Come on, big fella.
I have a plan. Oh, it's a very cunning plan. Thank you very much. Now, where's Ember? Hi. I love how people are just generally mimbling around in this area. Oh, hello. Slightly off around there. Do you want your deep back?
Guess what I found?
A lot of nerve coming back here.
Nope. This.
What? My date? I'll have that.
Sure, but how about I give you the deed in exchange for the citizen ID that's on it?
The date for the ID, but
You wouldn't have it back if it weren't for me.
it wouldn't have been stolen if it weren't for you.
So we're even.
Okay.
I suppose that's sort of fair.
Excellent. When do we start?
Have you got a U-chip?
Yes. My hand is still stinging.
Right then, let's get this over with, yeah? Pass me back my deet, Follow me over to my workbench.
Okay. Yeah. Plan so cunning you could stick a tail on it and call it a weasel. I like the logical illogicality of it. Makes sense. I also like the lack of pixel hunting.
You ready to do this?
I'm not entirely sure what this is.
You want that citizen's ID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I need to do?
Cool. Just place your hand flat on the U-chip scanner. Over here on my workbench.
Okay.
Like this?
Yeah, good enough. Let me just line up the laser.
Excuse me, sorry, what
now? Keep
now?
your hand still or you'll lose it.
Is this gonna hurt?
No more than getting the chip installed in the first place.
Oh, so yes then.
Right, just transferring the ID now. You may feel a slight pinch.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
That wasn't supposed to happen?
There it is again. Must be... nothing. It must be nothing. Looks like his name was Graham. A fine, upstanding citizen.
Graham. Got it.
Good luck, Citizen Graham.
At last I had a citizen ID. I hoped that this was going to be my key to getting into the city.
Always weirds you out that so many successful rom-coms were written by half the Blackadder writing team. Yeah. Sex to doubt. First game, if I recall correctly, you basically worked on ID cards. Okay. Well, for starters, let's...
How can I help?
You can anoint the bejesus out of me. It's fairly simple. We can do a B&E into Hobbsworth's office. Yeah. Access to the link machines, access to various apartments, that sort of thing.
Graham's ID was finally starting to get me places.
Okay. Right.
The power cell was completely wrecked.
Can't be using that. Yeah. Is it nailed down? No. Then taking it. Sandwich for Voxel. See what the diagnostician console does for me.
The console seemed specialized.
Okay.
The power cell was completely wrecked.
Yeah, that is manked, isn't it? So, okay, there's nothing to be had off that console specifically. However, I get access to the hut. So let's go see what this scanner does. It looked like it, but it was not interactable.
U-chip firmware outdated. Authority for vehicular access denied.
The firmware on my U-chip was out of date. I realized that I'd been sold a dud by Ember.
Oh, there's a shocker. But on the other hand, it didn't actually cost you anything. So, let's go give the sandwich to Voxel. Sounds like you may need to acquire a power cell. Elsewhere, you wonder what the droids run on. Yeah.
Me again. Can we talk some more?
Hi.
Food delivery for Mr. Voxel.
Oh, yes. One of Hobsworth's city singers. Do you want my crusts?
Oh.
You eat them. Warriors need their strength.
Oh,
bye.
Bless him. Bless his little cotton socks. Hobsworth looks baffled. Get the feeling that this is Hobsworth's general demeanour, however, so I'm not really that worried. He is too precious without being saccharine. Ember, we need a chat.
Hi.
Hi again.
There's a problem with this ID you gave me. I tried the bridge, but it wouldn't let me through. Apparently my U-chip is out of date.
Oh, right. They had to replace the hand scanner recently. Must be running on new firmware. Much newer than the crappy U-chips from that old terminal.
What happened to the old hand scanner?
No idea. Why would you even ask that? I didn't take it. Shut up.
Either way, the ID you gave me doesn't work.
Hey, listen, guy. The ID is tip-top. It's your U-chip that's the problem. It's old. Like you.
Well, have you got any newer replacements?
Nuh-uh. That U-chip is in you now. It stays there. You'll need to run an update, but my guess is you can only do that inside the city.
And without the update, I can't get across the bridge. I appear to be at an impasse.
Yikes. Well, that ain't good. Could maybe hack the bridge, but... Nah. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Hello.
Did you say hack?
Okay. So you know how everything here runs on Minos?
Minos? Surely that's not based off the old Link system.
That's right. When they upgraded, they dumped the old Link tech. Smart shoes, smart toasters, smart light bulbs, smart fridges. Minos makes everything smart, smart, smart. Except the humans. Anyway, you know how Hobsworth is always pointing his scanner at stuff?
Yeah?
That's his Minos scanner. Minos scanners let guys without any smarts figure out how machines work. Old Hobsworth has all kinds of safeguards so he can't mess things up more when they break. But with a few modifications...
Can you do more than just diagnose Minos machines?
Much more.
Could I borrow your hacker? Is that a no? Could I maybe trade you something for your hacker?
Honestly, probably not.
Okay, so if you won't trade me for that hacker, could you make me one?
For a price, and a whole lot of inconvenience.
What do you mean?
For starters, you need one of Hobsworth's Minos scanners.
Got that.
You get me one of them, and then we can talk about next steps.
You mean this thing?
Nice.
Oh, found one already? Where'd you get it?
It was just lying around in Hobsworth's hut.
He really should be more careful. Right then. Let's see what else you've got in that bag that might be worth my time, trouble, and effort.
Mini K Android finger.
I don't know if you can use this, but how about this finger?
Okay, creepy. Let me take a look. Whoa. Okay, this is some serious kit. The micro actuators alone are worth a bundle.
So it's a deal then. You'll hack this scanner, and the finger is yours.
You betcha. Pleasure doing business with you. Meet me at my workbench when you're ready.
Excellent. Yeah, Fish, it is so nice not to have to back out and go through there. Yes, I've got it. Oh, yeah. Hello.
A sand pit. In the desert. The irony sure wasn't lost on me.
I love that. It is sand, and then you've just got the ring.
Hey, Pixel.
How can I help?
Okay.
Do you know how to get into the city?
Oh, if I knew that, would I be living in this car park?
Fair play.
See you around.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh.
Alright, 1 Ember grade Minos hacker.
Thanks. So how do I use this thing?
You activate scan mode, obviously.
Right mouse button to equip hacker. Okie doke. Oh, nice.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, well, that's the easy part. Now follow me.
Yeah, the demo I played starts just after you get the hacker.
This is how I find hidden systems. They're all over the place. There you go. One just popped into range.
Okay, what do I do now?
Use the big button at the top. Duh. Right, so this here is a diagnostic view of Minos.
Oh god, yes!
Looks like it runs the vending machine.
No kidding. See those task nodes? The darker ones?
Yeah?
Well, unlike Hobbsy's little vanilla scanner, my hacker can swap them round. So let's see how smart you are. Want to give me an infinite supply of spankles?
Okay.
You did it! You're smarter than you look. Okay, apply the hack and you'll be good to go.
Okay. Oh, right, okay.
Alright, mate. Figure the rest out yourself. Oh, and try not to do anything too stupid, eh?
Oh, I love this game.
Apologies, but despite you being a valid user, we have decided to not dispense on this occasion.
At least I felt validated.
But despite you being a valid user, we have decided to not dispense on this occasion.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Bridge. Is user authorized? I absolutely love we're dealing with Boolean logic. That's brilliant. Whoa, okay.
Excuse me?
Citizen Graham, you are not authorized for this area.
I was going to have to get used to being called Graham. I just wanted to ask some questions.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm a 4YR droid. And 4YR droids are programmed to ask questions, not answer them.
You're not like that other droid across the bridge.
You mean 2CU? That little jumped up Tim Pop voice box. That's all she is.
And you're a better model?
Better, older, tougher, more reliable. Underneath this steel skin lies the beating heart of a 13.7 volt power cell.
Oh, does it?
Wow.
Old tech, you see. Tested. Solid. Whereas that flying volleyball over there runs on solar. Sun goes down, she's useless. But me, I can go all night long.
We murder them for their robot hearts. Robinson, you have a way with words.
Have you seen a boy called Milo?
Gaplander or citizen?
Gaplander.
All Gaplanders look the same to me.
He's quite young and about this tall?
Repeat, all Gaplanders look the same to me.
2CU looks a little newer than you.
That's right. Supposed to be more socially orientated. I'd like to see her try and fix a bent shaft.
What is it you're doing here?
I recycle. Cans, mostly.
What happens to the cans?
First, they get compacted. Then they go down to the recycling center.
And then what?
Well, they get recycled. Turned into stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Important stuff. Really, really important stuff. So I've been told.
You mentioned a power cell?
Correct. I run off a 13.7 volt power cell.
Hi, Magpie.
Really? Would it fit in a truck?
And thank you very much.
Older models?
Like that truck over there?
Might do. Looks old enough.
What's beyond that door?
A corridor.
And after that?
The city.
Okay. And how do I get in?
You don't.
Why not?
Because you are a pedestrian, and doors do not open for pedestrians.
But they open for vehicles?
Yes, because it is a vehicle entrance.
Okie dokie.
Thanks.
Bye.
I cannot understand, Robinson, the chap you showed me, just walking around and not talking to anybody. Presumably, he's still wandering around the starter area trying to work out what exactly he's doing. Okay, let's have a bit of a shufty.
Warning. This entrance is strictly
Okay.
Those guns look like they meant business.
Alrighty. Going this way. Going away. Are you a device and can I mess with it?
The conveyor appeared to be part of a waste recycling system.
Yeah, because to find the other kids, you have to actually talk to the first kid. Alright. Okay. Right then. Recycling outlets. Hey. Pad cleared, starts conveyor belt. Cargo on pad, stop conveyor belt. Coolant system. Let's just generally mess things around. So. Ah, right, okay. So. I love that. You can swap each of the code blocks for like. Swings and roundabouts, Magpie. So, set belt speed rapidly. Can't swap those. Right, let's apply it and see what happens.
the future of all the little cans!
I had a charged power cell.
Right. Now, am I going to have to hack this to get me out, or is it going to work? Oh, go away.
Measures will be taken against non-compliant pedestrians.
Now, are you going to work both ways? Yes, you are, thank goodness. I've only knocked him out. It's fine. So, Wendell, I can fix your truck.
Hey, Wendell.
Hello, stranger. How goes the battle?
So all you need to get into the...
Like a cheese sandwich needs chutney.
Here, this should do the trick.
Is that a new power cell? Juiced up? You beautiful man. How did you do it?
Well, it all started with a dead man in the desert.
I'm gonna stop you there, chum. Any story that starts with a dead man is best kept to yourself.
Hey, any chance of a lift into the city?
Typical. No one ever does anything from the goodness of their heart these days.
I just figured that...
Oh, all right. Up in the back. You earned it.
You sure it's safe back here?
100%, lad.
I'll take your word for it.
Just watch out for me neck bursts. I've lost enough business already.
Uh-huh. Yep. The eyeballs are the same as Link. Hey, Dale. Oh, yeah, that does look like the first game, doesn't it?
As far as I can take you, I'm afraid. You can catch a monopod into the city from over there.
Where are you going?
Straight to cargo. Gotta get these babies.
Quarantined?
Distributed.
Thanks for the ride, Wendell. Maybe see you again.
Oh, it is in no way, shape or form going to be this simple. Objective updated. Objective, investigate how Graham's connected with the Stalkers. Maybe get a manual savette in? No, can't do that. Okay, fine. Oh, because it was actually auto-saving. Fair enough. Let's have a quick look around. Motion capture and the faces you're in love. It is great, isn't it? Revolution have had a lot of practice. Be happy, aim low. Hang on there, let's not do that. Let's get some... That's nice. Oh, right, okay. Let's get some spangles first.
Apologies, but it seems your U-chip is running out-of-date firmware.
Fine. Gonna hack you then. Thank you. I have cans of Spankles. Lost your ability to type. Do not like the vending machines. I quite like the vending machines. Ministry of Safety. Make the world shine with nuclear radiated cleanliness. I love the app blocks. So overall, I absolutely adore the look of this game.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Transporting you to the nearest safety services.
Yikes. This is not necessarily a good thing. Yeah. Hey, Shard. Safety services are, of course, security. Oh my god. Now I get the titles. And it is Dave Gibbons again. This looks like the first game. I mean, obviously graphics upgrade, but it looks like the first game. Which, given it's got Dave Gibbons in...
The Stalkers had come into the city, but looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the Stalkers, and whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first.
I mean... Don't mind me, you've got points to burn. Oh, fair enough, Knight. This is... wow. This is just wow. I haven't seen anything, certainly not in the adventure game format, that looks like this. It's a completely logical upgrade of the graphics. But... it just makes sense. So, Dave Gibbons, as I said, 2000 AD artist. Yeah, I've got to do some chat things. Oh my god. Yeah, I have to do some channel things so you guys have stuff to spend on. Karaoke will not be happening though. So yeah, basically Dave Gibbons has drawn Mega City 1 quite a lot. just looking around, would like to say, did he really? Yes. Chrono, because I can't sing. Hi. Oh, hello, speaker robot. Ooh. Hi, speaker robot. Come here. Oh, hello.
All citizens a happy aspiration day.
Approach new location, announce information. Alarm detected, announce safety message. What happens if I do that? Shout. Ouch. You were the postage warning for that redemption. Okay, rephrase that. There are many, many, many modern songs I cannot sing. Yeah, check highlights, because I did manage to miss one of the middle sessions of it, because I did it in about 3 sessions. And it was being a bit peculiar because it's an old DOS game. 100,000 points drop plays a mobile game. If I can persuade my mobile to stream, then yeah. If it approaches a new location, is it going to trigger alarms and start crying? I'm just going to be hacking everything. You realise this, don't you? Detect citizen. Load advert for citizen. Ah, okay. Is advert loaded? Yes. Display advert on, and then unload the advert. Is advert loaded? No. Load an advert. Series of useful images curated by the 5 ministries to better curate the lives of their... How many times can you get curate into one sentence? So what happens... Okay. Let's mess with that and see what happens. I'm not saying that they're any use, I'm just saying I want to hack everything and see what it does. Oh, okay.
Hello?
Good morning, Graham, Grundy. I trust you are well on this fine day.
Actually...
Aha! Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
Sounds delightful.
Uh-huh.
That's the spirit. Now, Mr. Grundy, we both know why you're here, don't we?
I guess we do.
Your firmware. It's ridiculously out of date. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Go on, place your hand on the platform.
I want to know if that's the same woman who voices the elderly actress and wonderful person of extreme money from the Broken Sword games. It's this wonderfully dodgy and extremely wealthy woman who likes you a great deal. Shouldn't there be more people? I'm around the safety services. Safety means security. This worries me. The hacking thing is based on range. Basically, yeah, you wander around until you flag up a system you can hack in the vicinity.
Okay, here goes.
Well, that's very strange.
What's very strange?
Well, that's not good.
What's very strange?
You said that's very strange a moment ago. Something about my data.
I didn't. You said, what's very strange?
I only said it because you said that's very strange.
Great. What else can I do for you, Citizen Graham?
There was something strange about the ID that I had acquired.
I think you're
While
going
she may
around
have lost the
spreading a
plot,
virus.
I definitely hadn't. So is my firmware all up to date?
It sure is, Citizen Graham. Now you can get back to being a top-notch citizen again. I see you have 2 weeks of public voting to catch up on. Better find a terminal and hop to it.
What was the firmware update for?
Well, Mr. Grundy, your U-chip appears to be quite an outdated model. It still had the original firmware from the early iterations of the Council's U-chip program. Frankly, I'm surprised you got by for so long.
I've lived a simple life.
You poor thing.
Would you mind scanning my U-chip like you did before?
But, Graham, your firmware is up to date.
Humor me.
Okay. Well, that's very strange.
There, you just did it again.
Because you asked me to humor you.
I mean, you said that's very strange again.
I assure you that I have a precise log of this entire conversation, and I said no such thing.
It appeared that every time she tried to access my data, the last few seconds of her memory was wiped.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
This is going to be useful.
Can you tell me everything you know about Joey?
Joey was pivotal in the restructuring of Union City, and we will always remember him fondly. If you would like to learn more about Joey's role in the rebirth of Union City, why don't you visit the Museum of New History? Is there anything else I can help you with?
Bish, I believe you have editor rights on my channel. If you do, I don't suppose you could do the export, could you? Otherwise, I'll do it later. Okay. And hello, Neo.
I'm looking for a vehicle.
Well, a monopod station can be found at either end of the piazza.
Are there any vehicles in the city that have legs?
Polite request for disambiguation. By legs, do you mean a vehicle transporting prosthetics, flat-packed furniture, or fried chicken?
I mean a vehicle with legs for propulsion.
Do you mean a skateboard or scooter?
You are no help.
I'm here to help.
My God, I've had this conversation with my Google.
Everything is fine. Please clear the area, citizen.
So Joey isn't around anymore?
Oh, that would be the one I've had.
When the city was ready to be ruled democratically, Joey stepped aside to make way for the Council. If you would like to learn more about Joey's role in the rebirth of Union City, is there anything else I can help you with?
Bit concerned because Foster's dad was involved previously, and not in a good way.
Where can I find one of these terminals?
They're everywhere. You can't throw a bilby without hitting a terminal.
Why would I want to throw a bilby?
I know, they're so cute.
Tell me about Union City.
The temperature is a perfect 296 degrees.
296 degrees? In what units?
Kelvin, obviously. What else would it be?
Fine.
What's happening in the city these days?
Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
I have not.
38% of citizens say yes.
38% is not a great endorsement.
Get it before it's gone.
Can you tell me about this council?
The council was formed as a democratic oversight committee to ensure the happiness and prosperity of Union City. The council is made up of 5 ministries. Ministry of Plenty, Ministry of Comfort, Ministry of Safety, Ministry of Aspiration, Ministry of Well-being. Would you like to know more?
Yes.
I think I need to.
Polite suggestion. A complete account of the council can be found at the Museum of New History.
So I'll be going to the Museum
Is
of
there
New
anything
History
else
then.
I can help you with?
Okay.
Listen, I don't know if you'll be able to help on this.
I'm here to help.
Oh, I'm going to kill you.
I'm looking for a child that went missing 2 days ago.
And from which part of the city did this child go missing?
He was from outside the city.
I can only help you locate citizens.
Fine.
Thank you.
Was I helpful?
Yes.
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
Excellent. Question 1 of 100.
Oh my god.
Are you satisfied?
Whoops. Gotta go. Now that I'd dealt with my U-chip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity. Graham Grundy.
I unabashedly love this game. Oh my god. Look at it.
Milo's trail was running cold.
Okay.
I needed to check out Graham's home.
I need some terminals. I need a terminal. Knackwurst sausages. Okay. Knock yourself out. You seriously just say that?
Hooray! Another customer.
Uh-huh.
The sound system projected music around the whole cafe.
Ash helped you bring your laptop back from the dead, so you're pretty good. Oh, that's good
Please
to hear.
scan your U-chip to place an order.
Cityscape is once again making you wish they'd do a remaster of Dread vs. Death like they did for Rogue Trooper. Yes, I want very much Revolution to start talking to Rebellion. City's giving you Columbia through Bioshock Infinite. Yeah, I can see that. It's Mega City 1 after a major cleanup job for me. With a very British aesthetic. Okay, is user allowed spankles? Yes, customized flavour, order drink. Okay. So that would get me red spankles. I can't swap the lounge music out for anything else. And I can't swap the polite music for anything else, so... Can I make the music play an alarm? I think I can, possibly.
Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
Okay.
Now that I'd resolved my outdated U-chip problem, it was time to look deeper into my alter ego, Graham.
Okay, going to. Just want to know what I did and to see if it worked the same way I think it did.
1 fresh premium spankles.
Thank you very much.
Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
I've got +1 spankles. So can I hack the cafe terminal? Okay, so that is literally just that one. Right, gotcha. Okay. Careful not to play the music play anything which would result in a DMCA strike. Yes, good thought. I've got nowhere else I can put that, so that's fine. Okay, so again, I'm just having a bit of a play. No, you can't, because they are different shaped blocks. Oh, 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 oh. Damn.
Hey, 2CU?
I'm not 2CU.
Oh, sorry. You look just like the one outside.
Oh, so we all look alike, do we?
Now hold on, I didn't mean that. You have to admit, though, you do look a lot like 2CU.
My name is 1CU. One. We're totally different.
Oh, so is 2CU like an upgrade? Like a better version of you?
You're speaking to the first, an original, a numero uno community welfare droid.
Tell me about Joey.
Before my time, I'm afraid, sir.
You must know something.
He brought the city out of darkness and into light.
Then the council took over.
Precisely.
Tell me about Union City.
Would you like to know about the piazza?
That's not exactly...
Well, that's
the piazza
nice.
was designed by the council to encourage citizens to socialize.
What's the point of that?
It's a fact that people like being around other people. People who are alone spend too much time thinking. And I'm sure we can all agree, nothing good ever came as a result of thinking.
I wouldn't know.
Anyway, Union City happiness is at an all-time high. Thanks, Piazza.
I love how he's avoiding the little speaker drone.
I'm looking for a vehicle.
The monopod station is situated at the entrance to the piazza.
No, I'm looking for a vehicle that came into the city.
Well, it can't have come through here. The piazza is a strictly pedestrian zone.
Do you know anything about missing kids in Union City?
There are no missing kids in Union City, sir.
Really?
Every single child in Union City is U-chipped and can be found at any moment. Period.
What about an unchipped child from the gap?
Uh-huh.
Ha, not to worry, sir. You won't see that sort in here.
That's all for now.
Okay.
Enjoy your day, Citizen Graham.
Sure, the alarm tracks are copyright. Ow, fish. Yeah, the body language on them is amazing.
Please dispense all waste in the bins provided.
I like that. I like that we have comic book style panels for the non-major voices. That's nice.
The robot was spitting out the occasional motivational message.
Right, let's go have a look at this giant statue of a truly distressing...
I'd never tell him, but Joey's statue looked magnificent.
I love that it's one-armed. Absolutely love that it's one-armed. Which is correct. Okay. Graham Grundy.
I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into.
Oh. Okay. No personal data. We have headlines. We've noticed your Kudos store has dropped again this month. Hope you're happy with the lens replacement for your hollow plinth. Thank you for your custom. You missed out on choosing a new Spankles flavour for Union City. Better luck next time. Come to the Ministry's attention, an industrial cleaning robot was locked in an empty land train and transported to Azio City. Or Azic City? No, Azio. Analysis is underway to determine the person responsible for this error. Your record indicates absence of 4 consecutive days. Please contact your manager. Your heart regulator implants are no longer fitted. Please return them to us for analysis. Oh. Winners of the Union City Photography Competition will be announced tomorrow morning. Log in to see if you've won a prize. Black is the new black with the new goth silk. Darker than emptiness itself and super soft on those intimate areas for the sensitive goth in everyone. Visit Blythe's Sewing Emporium in Turnvale Towers. Your health check is now overdue. Okay. Adverts. Regret to inform you, your failure to vote has resulted in a deduction of 2 kudos points. Polite warning, attention required. Your kudos level has dropped by 1. So, he's been missing for a while. Cuddly Kitties are proud to introduce Luke Llama, the newest member of the Cuddly Kitties Trackable family. You've got to love the llama. Sorry, the Trackable family. Hello. Celebrations on the Aspiration platform for Aspiration Day. Have you tried Mini K's? You'll love them, and guess what? We just got a fresh delivery. Ask your droid to fetch you a pack today. Appointment has been arranged for you and Mrs. Grundy to discuss your well-being with Mentor Alonso. Oh. Museum of New History, firmware updates. Hostess yoga and transcendental meditation now available at the City Mindfulness Retreat. Please send your replies to Moonbeam Shanty Bliss for further information. No attachments, please. Oh, God. Meet Mr. Spankles. Well, that's not disturbing enough. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, anything else? Right. Okay. Bonsai trees. Ah.
Calling all social climbers. Customize
Oh, hello.
your aspiration brooch here.
Okay. Aspiration brooch stall, render display data, dispense aspiration brooch. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with it. Okay.
Now that I'd resolved my outdated U-chip
Yeah, I'm
problem,
going to.
it was time to look deeper into my alter ego, Graham. Hey, got a minute?
For you, sir, I have all day.
What do you do here?
My name is Hollow, and it is my pleasure to serve the wonderful people of Union City on this glorious Aspiration Day.
And what are you serving?
Well, social climbers can bring their aspiration brooches to me.
And then what?
I use this machine here to customize the hologram projected on the brooch. Isn't that fun?
It's a real parade. What is an aspiration brooch?
A special wearable reward to Union City's esteemed social climbers. Courtesy of the Council.
Yes, but what do they do?
The brooch permits entry to areas around the city, exclusive to social climbers, such as the Old History exhibit in the Museum of New History. It also tells your fellow citizens how great at gathering kudos you are.
Right.
Have you heard anything about missing children?
Oh my, that's above my pay grade. Are they social climbers?
No, they were taken into the city from the Gap.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have had anything to do with that.
What can you tell me about the Council?
Nothing that you won't have heard already. However, if you take a look behind my stall, you can catch a great view of the Citadel.
The Citadel?
Where the Council are based. It can be seen through the skyline right behind me.
Okay.
How can I get my hands on one of these brooches?
You didn't receive one in the post?
I don't think so.
That's because aspiration brooches are only delivered to social climbers. You need an awful lot more kudos to be in with a shop.
Maybe next month, eh?
Sure. Or year, perhaps.
Uh-huh.
I'll see you later.
I can't wait.
Oh, yay! Oh, dear
all social
God.
climbers. Customize your aspiration brooch here.
Apparently I nicked the power cell back. Ha!
Calling all social climbers.
Okay.
Customize your aspiration brooch here.
Okay, so what I want to do is try and find where Graham lives. So let's go back to the station. I think I'm going to the right place. I'm now, anyway. Join the social elite. Disturbing vending machine a go-go.
Milo's trail was running cold. I needed to check out Graham's home.
Yeah, alright, fine.
Please dispense all waste in the bins provided.
Okay.
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
Home.
I knew Graham had some sort of connection to Milo's kidnapping.
No kids
His
after
home
3
would be
p.m.
my
Yeah.
best, in fact, my only lead.
Creepy,
Take me to
creepy
Graham.
clowns.
My home.
Lakeview Apartments. Certainly, Citizen Graham.
The city knew a lot more about Graham than I did.
I think possibly because these machines are just so terrifying. So, what do people think of their first look at, well, our first look at Beyond the Steel
arrived,
Sky?
masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what... But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead.
It is currently 20% off on Steam, which is the only platform you can get it on right now. I've seen the trailer. Joey's in the trailer. Oh, when in doubt.
It was a hand scanner.
Alrighty. Is the water on? Yes. Set flow to 0. Is the water off? Set flow rate to 100. Okay. Let's turn on the sprinklers just for shizzles. I think it's broken. Could be wrong. Don't think it's working. I want to know if the photography competition is genuine because I just want to take photos of everything. Sprinkles, the creepy clown.
This particular spot seemed popular with the local birds.
Okay. As do. We've got an aircon unit by the looks of it, which makes sense. Given it's really freaking hot. Okay.
The
And there's
seal on
Joey
the
again.
floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
Okay, and you are?
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What? Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
Very good job on the motion, good voice acting, and what you've seen of the main and subplots are interesting. At this moment, it's almost alarmingly free of flaws. There are a couple of pathing issues, but nothing major.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know. Weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
I preferred Ember. Can we have Ember inside the city, please?
I'll leave you to whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
Yes, I'm very busy.
Hey, Dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Well, hers is clearly blue.
Blue?
Lame.
But you're wearing... Never mind.
Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
I love that.
You got nothing.
He's as baffled.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy.
Yeah, I adore that he is as baffled as we are with her. Skelligember. Yes. Okay.
It was another image of Joey, just as I remembered him. Clearly, he'd made his mark.
She's back. I'm not going anywhere near her. Will she be creeping me out? Okay. So what else is on this floor?
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Water tank depleted.
Well, that did no good.
Someone had spilt paint on the floor.
Okay.
Looked like someone planned on doing some painting. The holdall was stained with paint.
Okay. So we've got apartment doors, we've got stairs, and we got lifts.
Please stand back.
The cleaning robot was clearly designed to carry heavy water tanks.
And it's just randomly dumping water. Ah, okay. Okay, so we have the Waterboy base station unit. When the robot's docked, it refills to 100%. If it's daytime, it cleans the interior. If it's nighttime, it cleans the exterior. I'd like it to go and clean up outside, because it's got bird poo. Integrated laundry system. If it's activated, change the water level. Wonder what happens if I tell it to fill to 0 and then send it outside to clean, because it will be up there all the time.
Water refill complete.
I love that it basically looks a bit pissed. And outside it goes. Okay.
With no hand scanners, I figured they were intended for droids.
Okay.
Hey.
Clear off.
Fine.
The holdall was stained with paint.
BT artist, maybe?
Calling the already present elevator did nothing. No surprise there.
Oopsie. Oh.
Wait, I know that you, Chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Okay.
Good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family.
Uh-huh. Oh, I don't think she will, you know.
My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has, but that's wonderful! Oh, thank Joey! My dear husband is back!
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records?
Uh-huh.
I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
All stolen. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me.
I
wasn't sure what I'd walked into.
Digging
If I was
into
to
other
convince
people's
anyone I was
lives.
Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place.
Right.
All I had to do was look around.
Okay.
Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine.
Yeah. Okay.
A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by.
Well, wasn't exactly winning any trophies.
That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love.
Mm-hmm.
Rhythmic gymnastics, first place.
Guessing that's not Graham.
Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive.
I just see Oh What a Palaver.
Fairy tales, courtly romances, and art books.
Okay.
A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee. Although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans.
Yes, the problem is it's Synthicaf. Little identity theft, yep. Well, let's face it, you pretty much spent a lot of the time in Beneath the Steel Sky doing that. What else do we have? The droid.
Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham, may I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman just now?
But that was sir's wife, Madam Songbird.
Yes, of course. My wife.
You're gonna fail the
quite feeling
test.
himself?
It's fine. I've just been having a difficult few days.
How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
Uh-huh.
This mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-being is always concerned, sir, with a citizen's well-being.
Well-being?
That's right, sir. A citizen's health and happiness, their relationships and social life, all of the utmost importance to the Ministry. He might also inquire if Sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe Sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have raised some concerns. Just be yourself, sir, and you will be fine.
Yeah.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been Sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
Yours.
Nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating.
It was worth a try. All being well, well-being will be well. No, there is something deeply wrong about the forced cheeriness of this city.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
I am sorry, sir, but the window controls are in Madame Songbird's room. I would not wish to disturb the Mentor while he is with her.
Fair.
Her meeting is apparently of the highest priority.
I see. We shouldn't disturb her then.
I just don't trust
Indeed,
that beard.
sir. However, if the air temperature is a concern, might Sir consider dispensing with his coat?
No.
It is rather warm.
And pungent, sir.
Is this interview just going to be about me?
Correct. The Mentor is here to assess Sir's well-being.
And what happens if Sir answers the questions incorrectly?
Incorrectly, sir? Get them wrong? How could Sir possibly do that?
Perhaps I hit my head on something.
Ha! Very droll, sir, very droll. Might I suggest that Sir just be himself and it will all be fine?
I didn't have long. I needed to learn about Graham Grundy, and fast.
Beard of evil, yes. Love the critique of toxic positivity, yes, exactly. It's like the worst holiday camp I've ever seen footage of.
Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is Sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom?
I guess I am.
That would be the Honorable Mentor Alonso, Senior Officer at the Ministry of Well-Being. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were 1 or 2 anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city.
Just some minor things, then.
Consumption patterns, biosigns, indication of physical existence.
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
Tell me about that woman.
Woman? Can Sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madame Songbird. Clearly, Sir is not feeling quite himself today.
No.
Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
Bless.
So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever Sir desires.
Oh my god.
Can you juggle?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Awesome.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know.
Yeah.
Ah, how are you, Chipworth?
I am well. Thank you for inquiring.
Okay.
I need you to do something.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you water the plants, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, please.
That's nice. He is indeed going to water the plants. That's just nice. Okay, happy with that. Bathroom the size of New Mexico. It's nicely handled. So far you're adopting Foster Chipworth and all three of the kids. You're going to need a bigger flat. Nice. Okay, what else have we got?
So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away.
Okay.
After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like. There was a boot print. Curious.
Is there now?
A box had been hidden outside the window. If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box.
Okay, the pigeon doesn't seem wildly enthused. I just love how you're all planning on turning the characters from this into a little family. Okay.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased. Adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know.
Okay.
What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning correctly. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. Please return them to your nearest medical waste facility. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the 3rd cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed at this terminal.
That's probably for the best.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any advice for me?
A single can of Spankles contains more than your daily dietary requirements. Look for the clown. Drink Spankles. Keep a smile on your face.
Very bouncy
You
bubble
are welcome,
beverage.
Citizen Graham.
Give me a checkup.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
That's disturbing.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
Oh,
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing.
okay. However, it's a start. It is a big old start.
Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath.
Useful for a cover story. Had a hard couple of weeks when on the health improvement kick. Yeah. Okay.
I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals. I wondered if Graham self-medicated.
I hope Graham self-medicated.
When I came to Union City 10 years ago, this was very much the case. These days, I wasn't so sure.
It is. It's just the red string's nicer. Useful for yes.
giant scorpions in the sewers. Real or fake? Unlikely. The tentacle monsters would have eaten them years ago.
Sorry. Yes, they would. So, do we think basically... Okay, so can't do that.
The droids who stare at goats. A classic.
So basically, Graham was into the whole conspiracy theory thing.
A cavalcade of cryptids. Someone believed in monster stories.
Big time. We all think Spankles is drugged. No, I think Spankles is drugs.
A sword?
Oh.
The blade was cracked.
Kit. No. Game, I'm gonna spank you.
The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside.
Oh. Yep. Indeed, Knight, broken sword. Which, of course, these guys made.
I wondered if the people knew that Hobart agents had helped me save their city. An impressive collection of medals, ranging from bravery to long service. Most of the medals dated back to before I was born.
Okay. Okay, that's
A
worrying.
security forces copter. I still had nightmares about those things.
So that's beneath the
Twice
still
I'd flown
sky.
them, and both times they crashed. I hoped I wouldn't have to risk it a third time.
Is this entire thing just a reference to all the games?
It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls. It was a detailed model.
So Graham was a nerd, basically. It's not a problem. But... I'm sorry, the broken sword just gets me.
Developing fluid and trays.
And into
I hadn't
photography.
seen gear like this since I was a child. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away.
Okay.
You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste.
This from the guy who lives in the desert.
Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls.
Thank you for explaining how these were references, because you didn't see the first game and wouldn't have known. Fair enough. But yeah, basically that is exactly right for the security copter that you're kidnapped into. Just before they nuke your original home.
Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change. A printer? It was rare to see one of those.
Okay. What have we got? Low price, high quality paper.
How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them.
That is fair.
Among the drawings were photographs, land trains, and the city walls? Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around.
Graham. Okay, we have a Minos terminal. So, he worked for the green with the little arch. So, civic guide?
The council was made up of 5 ministries.
There we go.
Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort.
There we go.
I knew quite a bit about Graham's work and health, but I figured I could learn more if I found his kudos records.
I'm assuming we'll be there.
A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
Okay. Can I get at my personal
I couldn't
data?
access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into.
Okay. Please, let me swap where the camera is. Thank you.
Keep a smile on your face.
If I can hack the... Yes! Import data from Holoplinth. Is temperature too cold? Set heater intensity 25%. Can't swap those over. Data from Holoplinth app. Okay. Can't change it, but can look at it. So what's the fireplace? Oh right, that's the door. Eepy. Silly dratty.
The pictures were all of Graham's wife. They were photochemical prints, taken using an old-style film camera. The retro technology had managed to blend songbirds seamlessly into the fake backgrounds.
Oh dear.
The photography was impressive, but the subject didn't look happy. The pictures in the apartment told a sad story. A blissful romance that had soured with time.
Ouch. Not good.
Something told me the fire was not authentic.
You reckon? Oh, that's a cupboard. Okay. Okay, what have we got in the cupboards? I wonder if I can hack the closet door. Oh, okay. Okay, you hesitate to rush me, but I feel a manual save coming on. Basically, Foster took a kid fishing, the kid got kidnapped by a dog-like robot, we're trying to find him. Yeah, that's essentially it. Can I use the hacky thing to open the bathroom window? Good thinking, if that's got any tech in it. Oh, hang on.
Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here.
Anything else?
Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking.
No. No tech up there, unfortunately. I'll have to do it from... I've got window openers, but they're in the wife's room. No, I was just wondering.
The blind blocked out all the light from outside.
Yeah. Graham's got himself a dark room. Okay. The wife's in on something. I think the wife had him killed. Right, let's go see if he's finished probing my wife.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham.
Okay, let's go for it.
I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Let's do it.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here.
Alonso?
Monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
This is going to be complicated.
Shall we take a seat in the lounge?
Yeah, I'd trust that beard as far as I could come.
Now or
Okay.
never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
This guy reminds me of an HR rep we had come in my old job, who introduced herself as the people partner for the regional people partner department.
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
I think he was up at B+ at one
B+.
point.
I didn't spot a plus on the record.
Oh.
Must have been my mistake. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion.
Oh dear.
Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Yeah, emphasis
Deeper?
on the shooter.
Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
Oh shit.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra-City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr.
Oh.
Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my Schriebman port?
Your what?
He means your heart regulator, dear.
Oh, yes, of course. Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
Okay, we've got military collection, wine collecting, military, photography as well.
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
Can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results.
Yeah, I messed up.
That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Possibly. It's as plausible as everything else you've told me today. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. Now, it's clear to me that your recent concussion has had some deleterious effects on your memory. You need some time to recuperate.
Of course, mentor. I shall see to it that he gets the care he needs.
Oh, I have no doubt that you will. And to support you in this, I converted some of your kudos to grant you both some time off work.
Our kudos? Wait, how much?
Oh, nothing too severe. Just enough to give you some time to reflect. You may notice a slight dip in your social tier, however.
But the Aspiration Day Gala... tonight.
Yes, won't it be something? I am so looking forward to it. Anyway, keep a smile on your face.
You too.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
Uh-huh.
What in the name of Joey do you call that sorry performance?
Maybe I could have tried harder.
Look, Buster. Everything was fine until you turned up. I'd dragged my kudos all the way up to Class B for that gala. I don't want time off. I want my gala tickets. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back.
What a wonderful accent.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap?
Getting eaten by birds?
Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure. And pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Okay. Well, that could have gone better. I wonder if the result changes if you get everything correct. I'm wondering about loading because I basically misinterpreted a couple of the questions. What do you reckon, guys? Yeah, I just glossed over the whole "your husband is dead" shit. I'd actually say B, because I could have sworn that said B+. Yeah, B, not B+. There was a B- there. Okay. Actually, had to load the game. Let's see how that handles. Reload, see what happens. Yep, and hello, Kiri. Why are you not attending your meeting?
Excuse me, please?
Well, excuse me.
If I was going to convince the men...
Yeah, let's go for it.
I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point up...
Okay, let me...
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Unskippable dialogue.
Oh, Graham.
Oh, hello.
Always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides,
okay.
I couldn't
dialogue
let
is
Alfonso
unskippable.
here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
It's now or never. Sorry.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Okay.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
This kind of makes my fist
well,
itch.
Straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your...
Issues?
Mr. Grundy, now, whilst your records load, remind me in which...
Comfort. I'm a clean...
Yes. Here we go. Cleaning
Okay.
supervisor. I trust that your health rating is
I
sufficient.
am A+.
I did drop down.
Excellent. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your
I used to be a B.
You're a C+ right now. I know.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support.
Mentor?
When someone goes on, and as a men.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom.
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
Right, let's give her time to do her charades. Assuming it's the same thing. Yeah, it is. Okay.
The land train facility. It's a fine place to work.
I'm sure it is. Department of Land Trains and Extra City Commerce. Wonderful.
Oh, yes. Couldn't be happier.
It's the extra
We are,
city
of
bit
course, very
makes me
grateful for
wonder.
your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why we have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Still don't trust your bed.
Excellent. Now,
Hot.
speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
Yeah, previously I thought, well, since the implants have been deleted off his record, but yeah, that's what
You
they're
mean
after.
my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the
I
feeling
love
of
her
an old-time
reactions.
film camera.
I can imagine. Although I don't choosing to ministry rec. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
You did.
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What?
I love the
Right.
expressions.
Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so... cleaning. And while I was cleaning, bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was... 2 weeks later...
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
Dreadful accent.
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
It's probably going to be exactly the same.
Thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing
Yeah.
before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
I have a photo
Anomalous?
of you.
That doesn't sound...
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Ah, yes. Of course. That's probably it. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with.
Yeah.
No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell.
Yes, I'm glad we went back.
Request
because we had the
analysis.
info.
There. Perfect. I have everything I need.
Great. Chipbot will show you out.
Chipworth, darling.
Just my little joke. Chipworth.
Good day.
Now
Mr.
that's
and
interesting.
Mrs. Grundy.
I don't know who you are or what you've done with Graham,
Oh.
but I think we got away with that.
I hope so. I don't think that we would get away with it a second time.
Nor do I. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out, Sharpish,
Nice.
before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
Possible. Possible
How?
love interest.
Where?
I found him. In the gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap?
Vine jumpers.
Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure. And pigs fly. Listen, stranger.
Good night, night.
I'm sure you can
Thank you.
understand. This has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Yeah. Okay, yep, that's a much, much better position. Happy about that. So, let's save the game there. I absolutely love this game so far. And indeed, Night, I hope you're feeling better tomorrow. Absolutely love it all to little pieces. So currently this is $24.99 on Steam. There's an extra 10% discount, which I think is still going for today. If you own Broken Sword 5 on Steam. But I love this. I mean, I'm point and click enthusiast anyway, obviously, and the Broken Sword games are favourites of mine. Beneath the Steel Sky was an early love, which I've now bought, I think, 3 times. It's looking fantastic. I love the interaction. Everything just feels solid. Things like when you're talking to the little 1CU, and he keeps just bobbing up and down to allow the speaker bot to fly under him. Things like that. It's really, really well done, and a lot of thought has been put into this. So yeah, I am happy with this a lot. And it's got that same level of underlying paranoia as Beneath, just with a shinier coating. Of course, we need to know what happens to Joey. Amongst other things. This is looking really, really good. So, you guys be happy for me to carry this on next week? Put Thimbleweed Park on hold until I finished it. If that's okay. Because, yeah, I am absolutely loving this. So, thank you very much indeed, Eeples. I very much appreciate you stopping by. I'm so glad this has been so good, and I'm really, really glad you've all enjoyed it. It's been really enjoyable. Because I was not feeling great this week, so this is my first stream this week, so I feel much, much happier.